Dawn breaks, asylum seekers wake up from what they hope is their last night on the streets.
You must be aching. Does it hurt?
Yeah. In the morning you wake up, the ribs is full of pain.
Fewer than a dozen remain outside this Toronto shelter.
Oh no, the poor refugee has a little bit of rib pain. Oh dear.
A fraction of what, for the last 2 weeks, was essentially a refugee camp in the heart of downtown.
When I came here, it is not the country I expected.
Let me guess, you were expecting a what? A 5-star hotel? I say that because if I was a legitimate refugee fleeing like a war-torn area, I'd be grateful. Because from what I could see in the picture, he had a tent, a roof over his head. He's right outside a refugee center, so he has easy access to running water and bathroom facilities, and he probably gets 3 meals a day. This is the same guy who all he had to complain about was a little bit of rib pain. Oh, and a little side note as to why the country wasn't what you expected, because the Canadian government keeps bringing in people. Like where I live, when I was a kid, there was like no homeless people, and now there's homeless people all over the place, to the point where stores have to bar off their overhangs of their shops to keep homeless people from sheltering underneath them. I don't blame the store owners, because they don't want to go to open up their shop and find a whole whack of waste on their storefront. And by waste, I'm not just referring to like garbage, I'm also referring to human waste and needles. So this guy, he has it a lot better than homeless Canadian citizens. I'm just gonna throw that in there.
Tired of waiting for elected officials to act, a community coalition pulled together Monday night to bus nearly 200 asylum seekers to this church.
We're just serving up breakfast right now.
So here's a thought. Rather than the Canadian government just dumping refugees on the street, why didn't they contact various organizations like this Jamaican organization first and say, hey, can you take in some refugees? That way you wouldn't have refugees complaining about a little bit of rib pain.
Initially we were told 30 people, then it got to 100, then 130, and when I wake up this morning at 5 o'clock, I saw a message from the pastor saying 200.
We're doing it for as long as we can because we're not going to put them back on the street, but our hope is that our government and province will step up to do what is right by these people and restore human dignity.
Human dignity? What about all the homeless Canadian citizens that have to sleep out of a shopping cart, basically?
After days of intergovernmental tension.
You can't just drop people and say, okay, we're all done. It doesn't work that way. We need to work collaboratively all together.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just drop people off. Federal government, they bring in a whole whack of refugees and they say, oh, well, we brought in refugees. We can virtue signal. Now it's the province's problem. / cities. Okay, while making this video, I just noticed this sign. Invited by our government, then left with nothing. Hashtag BLM, left on the streets. Curious question. Does that mean all the refugees are black? Oh, sorry, BIPOC? Because anybody who would do hashtag BLM, I highly doubt they would care if they were white refugees. Because white people can't be refugees. Now I know this sign was probably just written up by an average person, but if memory serves me correct, BLM is an organization that has gotten donations in the tunes of hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. My way of saying, are they going to help finance this?
For Toronto,
we can continue in a predictable way to welcome significant numbers of refugees through our various programs, but we do need leadership to be demonstrated at the provincial and municipal level as well.
Toronto's mayor welcomed the money, but called it a short-term stopgap that will not meet the needs.
So yeah, that Fraser guy, he's basically blaming the provinces. And then you have Ford, he's saying that the federal government just drops off refugees and calls it a day, basically. And in my opinion, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Ford guy's right. To me, That just shows how little the federal government cares about the provinces. Well, anyway, that's it for my thoughts on the matter. Take care out there in Clown World.